Go.
Let
Go.
me.
Go live.
I'm
Go live.
already on one
Go
today
live.
from that
Go. Go.
YouTube link we listened to. Do not
Girl,
get
yeah.
me hyped up. Let me make sure we
Hype.
live in the
Ready.
right place at the right time. Yes, we
Period.
are. Good freaking morning, y'all. Your girl is on one. First of all, I've been up since 5 a.m. Okay? So you about to get all of this energy because I am excited. I get to host my boo this morning. We are truly like our parents some kind of way. We haven't figured it out, but we truly believe that we are related. I'm telling y'all. So I am excited this morning. As Atara would say, I need you to tell Lottie Dottie and everybody, go ahead and tag them on this thing. Because listen, y'all already know she is going to bring it. All right. We come to you every Tuesday and Thursday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to help you all unlock your greatness. So please love, like, comment, tag, share all of your people. It is free to inspire and motivate others. In fact, I really believe that it is our duty. It is your duty to help uplift somebody else. You never know what people are going through, and them seeing this live, you adding a little bit of positivity to their daily routine may go ahead and boost them up and help them get through the week. Now, y'all, she is known as the queen of healing. You know, she always says, heal, sis. And I know that we say that and we're kind of funny about it, but I hope you guys really understand the importance of that. Once you are healed completely, everything else in your life will fall in place. And so I know we say it being funny, but we say that with great weight and gravity of what it really means because it is a gift to be able to help people heal. But this morning, she is going to be talking about the topic of, and she told me whether it was motivation or ability first. And because I got squirrels running around in my head, y'all, it is motivation versus ability or ability versus motivation. When you have verses in the middle, guess what? It don't matter which one go first. The point is, I hope that you got a pen, a sheet of paper, a notepad, or something to take some copious notes because she gonna lay it on y'all. She says she gonna be quick, she gonna be in and out, but Shontay never did nothing quick in her life. She gonna get on here, the spirit gonna start talking to her, and we gonna be on here for 10 hours. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw it over to my sis. Y'all, she is also an extremely successful entrepreneur. So when I get on here, I'm plugging everybody. If you've been scoping her out, if you have not hopped in her inbox yet, all you are is a click away. Stop playing, boo. All right, Shontay, take it away.
Thank you so much, sis. And yes, y'all, the topic this month is ability versus motivation. In due fashion, I'm going to have to make sure I say it the right way because that's what I'm here for, right? So I'm really excited, you guys, because this topic was actually a little bit difficult for me at first because I was really trying to tap into something that my other sisters hadn't already tapped into because I feel like they all did such a phenomenal job breaking it down, explaining it to you. And I was trying to find an emotional way to tap into this for you guys because the practical stuff is important. But like Rebecca said, if you tap into the healing part of it, that's what's going to change everything. That's what's going to make the difference. I believe that when we tap into our emotions, when we tap into where we really are, when we tap into our current reality, that's how we're going to change the trajectory of our life. That's the foundation of everything that we do. We can't achieve great goals being broken, right? We can't achieve great relationships being messed up. We can't have phenomenal friendships with unforgiveness. And so it's important that we tackle it. I think it's like something that we don't talk about enough. That's why we have so many people who suck at being good friends. That's why we have so many people who literally cannot get along. That's why we have so many times where if you don't agree on something, you don't know how to be cordial or how to be peaceful. It's because you're not healed. And when you're not healed with you and you're not okay with you, then it's very hard for you to be okay with other people. I'm already preaching, and this is not even the topic. Okay. I don't know where that came from, but that's just that was for free. There you go. That's boom. Okay. That's one. So ability versus motivation. Let's talk about it. So ability versus motivation is basically it's what I can do versus what I will do. That's really all we're talking about. what you can do versus what you will do, right? What can I do, right? I can speak very well, right? Or I'm really good at, I don't know what you're good at. You're very good at makeup. You're very good at skincare. You're very good at motivation. You're very good at encouraging people. You're very good at technical stuff. Maybe you're good with computers or technology. You're very good at that. So what you can do that. But what will you actually do? And the reason why this conversation is so pertinent, I believe, is because as we close out the end of the year, although 2020 is not a productivity test, because God knows it's been definitely a different year. I won't say it's been a bad year for me, but I definitely say there's been some adjustments that I've had to make, as so many of you others have. Now, I was already locked inside the house because I'm introverted anyway, so it wasn't that much of a difference. But I noticed that the more that I was not able to go outside, the more it started to irritate me, because I like options. Even if I may not use the option, I still want the option. Does that make sense? So that's my personality. So the fact that I had to stay in was annoying, even though any other day I probably would have just been in the house. So I know for me, it was very interesting. And so I want you guys to think about, what am I good at versus what am I willing to do? What am I good at versus what am I actually willing to do? And so here are some questions that I want you to think about. The first thing is, are you motivated enough to find time for your goals? That's the first thing. Am I motivated enough to find my goals? And so when we talk about ability versus motivation, you already have a natural skill set. If you're not sure what your skill set is, I recommend this book literally 55 million times a day. I was literally looking around, but it's sitting over here on my other bookcase shelf because I got so many books sitting around me. But I have one book that says it's Strength Finder 2.0, and it helps you find your skill set, right? And so if you don't know your skill set, that's where you got to start first. What am I good at? What am I naturally good at? What are my God-given abilities? And then what am I motivated to do to get to my goals? Maybe your goal is, reaching financial goals, saving a certain amount of money. Maybe your goal is to get healed from a certain thing or forgive certain people or whatever. I'm not sure what your goals are. But the first thing is, are you motivated enough to find the time to achieve your goals? Next thing, are you motivated enough to develop your skills? So what I can do versus what I will do. So this natural skill set that I already have, am I motivated enough to even develop my skill set? I think that's the biggest part. I think sometimes we get so consumed by being talented that we forget that we have to cultivate it. And talent isn't enough. You guys, talent isn't enough. Your talent isn't enough. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many degrees you have. It doesn't matter how amazing you think that you are. What matters is, based off that talent or that skill set, what are you actually willing to do? What are you completing? What are you producing? I'm very big on fruit. Right. I'm also very big on being effective. If I can't do it well, I don't want to do it at all. That's just my personality. If I can't do it well, either I'm going to figure it out and I usually feel uncomfortable in situations where I can't perform at my best. Okay. And so that's why I'm always trying to find ways to sharpen my skills. Well, how can I get better at communication? Well, how can I get better at my leadership skills? Well, how can I get better at leading? Well, how can I get better at motivating? How can I get better at encouraging? How can I tap into these natural gifts that are on the inside of me? This is why, and you guys know I talk about this all the time, but this is why self-awareness is so important. When we're talking about your ability and your motivation, you have to tap into who you are. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. The reason why we have so many people out here not reaching their goals is because you don't know yourself. Oops. We don't know ourselves. We don't take enough time to know ourselves. We don't take enough time to evaluate ourselves. We don't take enough time. We don't just take any time. And the reason why, I remember this moment thinking this. I remember this moment. And it changed when I became an entrepreneur and I started to go more aggressively. I remember the moment when someone asked me, what do you like to do and what are you good at? And I had my daughter. I was still pretty young because I had my daughter at 21. So let's say I was probably, probably 26, 27 years old. And I remember thinking, I don't know who I am. I remember thinking, I don't know who I am outside of being a mom. I remember that moment and I felt really depressed. Like, I remember this moment very vividly. I can feel all the emotions of that moment. And I remember realizing I did not know me. I did not know who I was. I didn't know what I liked to do. I just knew that I wanted to take care of my kid. And I remember feeling like, wow, like I'm a mom, but I'm also something else. Like, and I became infatuated with this desire to be extremely self-aware. Like, I started to become obsessed even with knowing me. I began to read so many different books on, oh, okay, I think I'm good at that. And I started taking so many different assessments because I was trying to learn me and I was trying to get better at me. Because in order for me to know my ability and my motivation, I have to start with knowing thyself. Okay, right? Like, to your own self be true, right? What's that special quote, or that very popular quote, right? And so I realized, okay, let me start to learn who I am first. Then I can assess my abilities and my strengths, and then I can find out what I'm motivated to do, right? What I can do versus what I will do. Next thing, are you motivated enough to find help, even if it requires being vulnerable and being persistent? Ooh, this was so good to me. This was so good to me. Am I motivated enough to find the help? Hi. Why? I don't know why we don't like to get help. I don't know why. Am I motivated enough? Am I so invested in my goals and in being the best version of myself that I will get help and that I will be persistent, that I will persist despite everything that's going on around me, that I will not give up, that I will be consistent in my pursuit? Am I that consistent? Am I that focused? How bad do I want to get better? How bad do you want to get better? Do you want to get better to the point where you're willing to be vulnerable? You know what? It's an awkward moment to say something like, hey, you know what? I'm struggling. Hey, you know what? I'm scared. Hey, you know what? I don't know what to do. Actually, I know it seems like I know what to do. I know I seem really successful in this area or that area, but I need some help. And I think that we are in this place where, and I really like to create safe spaces for people to be vulnerable. I am that person that if you're like, oh my God, I feel like I'm gonna cry, I'll be like, girl, cry. Let it out. That's me. Like, Rebecca will tell you every time her and I are talking, because Rebecca is so anti won't cry, and I am so I will release a thing real quick. Okay, I will release joy, peace, happiness, whatever I feel like I need to cry about, I'll do it. Okay, at the drop of a dime. I will cry because you're crying. I will cry because your grandma crying. I will cry because the person in the corner is crying. Okay. It can be so hard for us to be vulnerable enough to say, I need help. Hey, I'm struggling. Hey, I need somebody to help me. Now, by no means am I saying you should get anybody and everybody to help you, but I definitely think that you should tap into your discernment and find out who's the right person to help you and get that direction and be open and willing to get the help. And then on top of that, not only be vulnerable and willing to get help, you can't just give up. I think we believe, like, you read two or three good books and then, your self work or your inside work is over. You're going to consistently be growing and evolving, hopefully. Hopefully, you will always continue to evolve, not devolve, not go backwards, but you will always, hopefully, focus on being the best version of you. Hopefully, the version that you are right now is even better than where you were last year, despite everything that's going on, right? And so I know for me earlier this year, that was something that I had to do. I had to be open and vulnerable enough to say, you know what? I need a whole therapist. I needed somebody to talk me through. I wasn't about to jump off a cliff, but there were seasons in my life prior where I would have might have jumped off a cliff, where I would have might have given up, right? You guys, if you don't know my story, I have a very aggressive background of trauma. of rape, molestation, suicide attempts, several of them, eating disorders, mutilation, cutting myself, cutting my body, I mean, just, you talk about almost anything you can do to hurt yourself, I probably did it. Like, I literally have no judgment for anybody. Like, only thing I didn't do was drugs. But other than that, I was drinking, cutting, being promiscuous. I mean, you name it. Any self-hate type of attitude, I had it. And so it took me a long time. When you see who I am now and why I'm so invested in healing, I'm so invested in healing because it literally changed my life. If you would have told me depressed, sad, broken, trying to get over being raped, trying to get over being molested, if you would have told me that Shontay would have this reality, I would literally be laughing at you. Like, I'd be like, me gonna be what? I didn't think I'd even live to be this. I didn't think I'd live to be 32. To be honest with you, I thought I would have just jumped off a cliff by now. I thought I would have off my own self by now. So when y'all see me do anything in regards to healing, please understand I push healing because I know what it's like to be messed up, to be broken, to be wounded, right? I know exactly what it feels like. And so I hope that it gives you encouragement that wherever you are right now, I hope that you see that me talking to you and me sharing with you is literally a physical manifestation of how faithful God is for you, how faithful he will be for you, what God has in store for you. Don't look at me and be like, oh, Shontay, no. Like, sis, when you see me, see you. See, like, oh, shoot, like, God about to have me glowing up. That's about to be me. I'm about to do, like, literally, when you see me, see that. Next thing, are you motivated enough to start somewhere? Just start somewhere. Just just start somewhere. Are you motivated enough to start somewhere, anywhere, halfway there, out there, in there, over there, up there, down there? Are you willing to start somewhere? I think so many of us, we want everything we do to be perfect. And everything doesn't have to be perfect to be relevant. Everything doesn't have to be perfect to be effective. Everything doesn't have to be perfect for it to make an impact. Hello, somebody. Just start somewhere. I want to stop you guys from thinking that in order for you to finish this year strong, everything must be perfect in order for it to be effective. I want you to understand, and I'm speaking to myself. I can't speak to you. I'm speaking to me. Just start somewhere. Listen, y'all know I bought this Peloton bike, and honey, that Peloton bike almost killed me. I got on that bike the other day. I'm gonna get on it after I get off of here. I didn't want to sweat my hair out because I got this press, and I'm sorry, this camera is like, it got me like backwards. But I told myself, just start somewhere, child. When I first got on, I was on for about 2.6 seconds. I'm over exaggerating. It's probably more like a couple minutes. But I thought I wasn't gonna make it. Then I tried it again. I was on a little bit longer. I said, okay, this time we're gonna stay on even longer, right? And so for me, it's just start somewhere. Okay, it's not easy now, but it's gonna get easy. Right? Maybe it's being consistent in business. Maybe it's being consistent with reading your books. Maybe it's consistent with your morning routine. Maybe it's consistent with you stop speaking so negatively about everything that's going on. Stop being so critical of every little thing. Stop being so upset. I notice a lot of people who are critical don't do a lot of work. I know of people who are extremely critical never get a lot of stuff done because you're so busy criticizing everybody else who is willing to do what you're not willing to do because you're not brave enough, because you don't trust yourself. So you sit and critique other people. I notice that a lot. I notice a lot of people who do the most critique, who are the most critical, they don't really have no fruit. Because those who create fruit, we know how hard it is to get certain things done. We give a lot of people more grace. I know it's the people who think you should be doing this and you should be doing that. They ain't really never done anything. Okay. Anyway, let's go on. What happens, Shontay, when I have lost my motivation? First, I have to start with a goal. Then I have to find my inspiration again. Then I got to get excited. Then I have to build up the anticipation. Yes, I love this part. Build up the anticipation of when the goal is being done. Let me tell you something, and I'm sorry, y'all, because I'm trying to understand the camera. So I'm like trying to figure this out and fix my hair because it's backwards. So excuse me, right? I live in the place of anticipation. If you guys followed us when it came to Life by Design, you guys know we are very big on the person that you want to see, the version of you that you want to see, already it being there, right? And so, in order for me to get my motivation back, I got to start with one goal, not 75 goals, sis. Let's just start somewhere. Okay, you might want to take over the world. Let's start over by let's take over the world, but maybe the first goal is just taking over you. Maybe that's the first goal. And then maybe you take over you. And then maybe you take over your house. And then maybe you take over your city. And then maybe you take over your state. And then maybe you take over your continent. Okay. Like, let's just start with one goal first. Let's take over you. Start with one thing. Then find your inspiration. What gives you joy? Let me tell you something. And I want to speak hope into more people. I feel like a lot of people in this season, in this time, yeah, and this is not on my even on my rating. So this is definitely all God right here. I really want to encourage you. I don't know who needs to hear this, but I want you to know that even in 2020, when we have so much going on in our economy, and we have so much going on in politics, and we have so many people who hate each other for absolutely no reason, who refuse to understand other sides, who refuse to be open-minded to different scenarios and different people's lives and what someone else might go through from a day-to-day perspective on both sides. And maybe there's some people who just don't understand, and then there are some people who feel like, why don't you understand? I want to encourage you that you can still have hope. There's something I have to remember, that I can never lose my hope. There is still a promise for you. And you know what? I always say that to you guys. I always say that God has a promise. He has something for you. And I always say it, but I think you need to hear it even more in this time that we're living in right now. That God still has a plan to prosper you and to give you hope in a future. Man, I am just sending out so much hope to every single person that watches this live or this replay. I'm sending you your hope back. I'm sending you your peace back. I'm sending you your joy back. I don't care what happened this year. I don't care what's going on. I need you to say, I have my hope, if you already have it. If you don't, I need you to send hope to your brothers and sisters that watch this. Like, I'm sending hope to every single person that will hear this under the sound of my voice. Lord God, I just ask that you would touch every single person that feels hopeless. Because I don't feel hopeless, but I feel this overwhelming feeling that a lot of people feel like there is no hope. And I want you to be encouraged. You need your hope. Your hope is your inspiration. It's how you find your motivation back. If you've lost your motivation, you got to tap back into your hope. You know what? Even though this is my reality, I'm going to believe for something different. This is not where I have to be. This is not where it has to end. There is something bigger for me. There is something greater for me. I know that for a fact. I know that God is not a man that he should lie. So he's not lying to me. If he promised me it's going to be done, it's going to happen. I may not see it now, but I know it's happening. I know that there is something greater. I may not get it at this moment, but in due season, it will make sense. So I'm going to hold on to my promise. I'm going to do the work. I'm going to stay motivated. I'm going to start with one goal. I'm going to find my inspiration or my hope back. I'm going to get excited about the promises of God. I'm going to get excited about what God promised me. And then I'm going to live in consistent anticipation of it coming to me. I want you to take a moment, whatever your best life looks like, whatever peace and freedom and joy looks like, I want you to get excited. Let's say it's coming tomorrow. Let's say it's coming in about a couple more hours. Let's say it's coming, and I want you to get excited. Oh man, listen, let me tell you something. Someone's coming over the house. I'm getting a brand new car. Listen, I'm about to close on my new home. Listen, I don't know what you're looking for, but I need you. I really need you. I'm going off script now. I don't even know. We're just going to ask the Lord to speak, okay? And I'm just saying that I want you to be certain that you live in anticipation. We're almost done. I need you to post your goal somewhere. I'm a queen of posting my goals in my bathroom. People come in my house and think I'm crazy. I have money goals on there. I know people be looking at me like, this lady got $500,000 written on her goals. And people be coming in doing exterminator. I just be like, look, just mind your business. I got goals written everywhere. Post your goals somewhere. And I need to see my goal, because every time I brush my teeth, every time I do my skincare routine, every time I put on my moisturizer, every time I put on my lip balm, I see my goals every single place. I even want you to commit publicly. If you have forums or groups you can be a part of, share it publicly. I want you to stick with it and understand the seasons. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all got to stop thinking that if something doesn't happen overnight, that it won't be successful. I don't know what gave y'all this mindset of thinking that if it doesn't happen in 2.6 seconds, that I'm not going to be successful at this, or I'm not going to get my promise. There is a season for everything. There is a time to reap. There is a time to sow. There is a time to mourn. There's a time for joy. There's a time to cry. There's a time to laugh. There's a time for all things. So you have to learn how to stick with it and understand the season that you're in. And just because you're in a certain season, it's why it's called a season, because it will pass and then another season will come. So prepare for all of them. There are some seasons where it's fruitful. There are some seasons where it's barren. All of them make sense and all of them work for your benefit. Next thing, build successes and focus on the benefits and not the difficulties. So as I'm going after my goal, I'm not going to focus on how hard it is, right? So when I got on the Peloton and I realized I couldn't breathe after about a couple minutes and I thought I was going to die, and I rethought my very expensive purchase, I started to think about the successes. Well, you got on it. Well, you know what? Let's anticipate what the future will be. There'll be a day when it won't be so hard to get on this Peloton. There'll be a day when I don't feel like I'm going to die after a couple minutes. There'll be a day when I can finish a complete 45-minute ride without thinking that I'm, going to lose my whole spirit and it's going to jump out my body. There'll be a moment when it's going to get easier. I'm just telling you what I had to tell myself, okay? So I'm focusing on my successes, right? Focus on the benefit, not the difficulty. Not, oh my God, my legs is hurting, my thighs is burning, my calf muscles is tightening up. I'm not going to focus on that. I got to focus on the benefit. You know what? This is great for my heart rate. You know what? I'm going to get healthier. I'm building my stamina. I need more stamina for boom, 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 blah, blah. I don't know, whatever, right? And then lastly, what are you reading and what are you listening to? Here is something that I was reading, and I wouldn't recommend you read this book because it's full of statistics and it's very dorky. Something Rebecca called me yesterday or the other day was really funny. She called me I think she called me either it was a ratchet nerd, a ghetto nerd. I don't recall what she called me. She called me something. But anyway, this book, Power versus Force, I wouldn't recommend it. It's definitely not an easy read. It's full of statistics. It's a little bit annoying. But something that I was looking at, it was talking about power versus force. And it was saying that force is extremely hard because force means it's a lot of negative energy. It means you really always have to feed it. You have to force it and force it and force it. While power needs nothing, power is everything that it needs within itself. And I want to tell you that's why you must tap into being empowered. Because the power that you're looking for, it lies within you. Everything that you need is already in you. You can't force this. When it comes to what I can do versus what I will do, I can't force it. I have to tap into the already present power that's within every single person under the sound of my voice, whether you like your reality or don't like your reality, whether you halfway like your reality or whatever, you've created this life. There was so much power in your mouth that you created a life that you can't stand. There is so much power in your mouth that you create a life that you can't get enough of. There is so much power in your mouth that you created a great business, but maybe you didn't create a great love life. There is so much power in your life that you created a phenomenal financial reality, but maybe you created a horrible physical reality. So I want you to understand that when you tap into your power, right, and you become empowered, right? When you become empowered, you're not forcing it. You're tapping into your internal power. Everything that you need is already within you. I want to encourage you guys, man. The main message behind this is when it comes to ability versus motivation, you have to realize that everything that you need, the abilities are already within you. Tap into those abilities. Learn more about yourself. When you learn more about you, you will become more motivated. You will become more excited. You will anticipate your future. You will live in the now. You will focus on it. You will unlock your greatness. You will be able to tap into things you have not seen or heard of. I believe that as you take the time to invest in knowing who you are and becoming extremely self-aware, you will see that your reality will change. I want you to understand, don't waste your ability. You can do it, but you sometimes don't want to do it. Stop wasting it. There are some people who have died way too soon. There are some people that have committed suicide this year. There are some people that say, you know what, I can't do this. There are some people that are going through more domestic abuse and that were beat to death. There are people right now, there are children that are being molested and raped now more than ever because they're at home. There are people who hate their reality right now. And if you have the freedom to be able to live a life of joy and peace and you're not doing it, shame on you. There are people that can't even afford to tap into their ability because they're too busy being beat up. They're too busy being beat down. They're too busy wanting to commit suicide. So, my response to you is if you have the blessing, I even go further to say you have the miracle to make a decision and to be able to tap into a better reality. You owe it to yourself to tap into not only what you can do, but you need to convert what you can do, all of what you can do, and turn all of that into what you are actually going to do. My heart breaks for people that don't have the option. When I think about my grandmother right now who is suffering from dementia and half the time can't remember what reality she's in. Sometimes she thinks she's 12, 15, 30. I think I haven't even said that publicly because a lot of people don't want my family or people to know that my grandmother doesn't know what's going on because of how prominent she was. So I kind of just openly said it out loud, which I am now thinking I shouldn't have done that. But oh well, it's already out here now, right? When I think about her, the last thing that I remember having a conversation with my grandmother, and it really, and then I'm going to end. Um, the last thing I remember having a conversation with my grandmother was we were sitting at the kitchen table at my house, at my dad's house, and we were sitting there. And my grandfather, who has now since passed away, he was talking about him being proud of me being an entrepreneur, which I hadn't, really become successful yet. But he was just proud of me for having enough faith to be crazy enough to quit my job. And I remember my grandmother saying to me, there's so much I wish I would have done. I remember looking at her and my grandfather tried to sweep it over the rug and say, well, we've traveled. And that's not what she meant. She said, there's so much I wish I would have done. There's so much I wish I would have done. I wish I wouldn't have been so scared. And then she left it at that. And my grandfather changed the subject. And I remember hearing that in that moment and saying, I will never live this life and not tap into my ability. I will use everything that God has in me, even if it's hard, even if I want to cry, even if I want to give up, I will not leave it. I'm going to use everything. If you have the ability, and now she can't even remember what reality she's in, so she can't even tap into her full potential. So when I say the miracle of you having the choice, stop wasting your choice. Your choice to be able to tap into a life that you want. You can change it right now. Stop wasting it. Stop wasting time. You don't have that much time. Stop wasting energy. Stop wasting your abilities. Stop wasting your testimony. Stop wasting your energy. Stop wasting your love. Stop wasting or holding on to unforgiveness and wasting time. Stop being so scared. Stop holding on to relationships that no longer serve you. Stop holding on to friendships that are detrimental to your health and your happiness. Stop, just stop it. There are people right now who don't even know what's going on in the world because their mind can't even figure it out. There are some people right now that are so consumed by grief that they don't even want to live to try to do anything. They don't even want to wake up. And you're over here complaining about not using your ability because you don't feel like it. So as I close, and I guess Rebecca was right. I did talk too much. I thought I was going to be in and out in 15 minutes, and we're at 35. My bad. But I want you guys to know that you have the ability, right? And I need you to know, stop wasting so much time. You don't have time. This year should show you you don't have time. Our reality, the life that we used to have, it's not going to look like what it looked like last year ever again. There will be so many things that are yet to come in this decade that we're not prepared for. You literally have no time to waste. I want to encourage you. I want to empower you. I want to ignite you. You don't have the time. If you need to start a business, start the business. If you need to start saving, start saving. Start investing. Start doing something. Because the life and the normal that you're used to, you'll never see it again. Stop wasting it. There are people right now who don't even have a choice to decide to use their ability. So use everything that you have. Become more motivated. If you lack your motivation, replay the whole video again and learn how to tap back into it. I hope that this blesses you. I hope that this ignites you. I'm speaking favor over you and your family. Rebecca, you can come on back because you know I'll keep going. But I love you guys. I'm speaking blessings over you. Y'all make me cry, which Rebecca's not going to be surprised about. And she's probably going to talk crap about me after this whole live. But I love you guys. I hope you got something out of it. I hope this was effective and impactful for you guys. Man, we'll see you guys next week, Tuesday, because I'm going to be the host again. So, yeah, Rebecca, I'll throw it to you.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing to say. I'm done. Listen. So y'all know the job of the host, right? We all in our Unlock Your Greatness family, like, we take this seriously, y'all. I want y'all to know we meet with each other. We got a little group chat. We talk about being on time, recapping the message. So I was taking all these notes. Then this heifer start going in. So I just stopped writing because it was just too much for me to write. So I'm not about to recap for y'all. Say what you want to say. I ain't got nothing that I'm about to give y'all. I'm not about to try to give you. I'm not about to try to do none of that. Like, you hear? None of it. None of it. So I highly suggest, if you did not catch this from the beginning, go ahead to the beginning and watch. I will let you know in advance. She was going off of her notes for ability versus motivation, and she was giving it to y'all. Then the spirit just completely took over, and she went a whole different direction, and y'all needed to hear it. I know I needed to hear it. So I'm not about to try to recap none of y'all. We're going to be back next Tuesday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? And that's going to be on September 15th. And Shontay will be on the other side of the screen because she will be back to being the host after she just dropped the whole damn mic and set the screen on fire and everybody wanted to throw their phone. All right. So we will see y'all next Tuesday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sis, you killed it. We love y'all. Again, it is so important that you like, love, comment, share, and tag somebody. And not even somebody, a lot of people need to hear this message, y'all. And even though we share this on as many platforms as we can't get to everybody. So we need your help in doing that. Share, 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 share. We love you guys. We'll see you next Tuesday. Have an amazing and safe weekend. And y'all, go ahead, manifest your authentic greatness. Like Shontay said, stop. The only thing I will say is stop complaining and wasting time, because somebody else does not even have the time, and they're taking a situation that is way worse than yours and they're making it happen. So get it done, y'all.